Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So today we're going to talk to you about GMRS, FRS, and distances, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about privacy codes too, just to reiterate the privacy code thing from the one video I did. I add that in here too. So we're going to talk all about these things, good points, bad points, and I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about CB radio. I have many years of experience in CB radios. The FRSs, I've only been involved with these for the last couple of years, and learning more all the time. So, and my next venture is ham radio, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Anyhow, so what is an FRS? An FRS is a two-way walkie-talkie. Okay, basically, it has up to 14 channels, usually no security privacy codes. Okay. Some may have, some may not have. These are GMRS. Now, we got these on sale. We were looking at FRSs at first, but then we come across these GMRSs at Canadian Tire the one day, and they're on clearance sale for 20 bucks. So, hey, why not? You know, the only thing I didn't know was there was no security codes. So, once I found out about that, I told the wife, well, I guess we got to watch our conversations now, don't we? Anyway, so no security codes means watch your P's and Q's, because the whole world can listen in on you that can pick you up. Okay. Now, these are very basic in that, yes, no security codes. You do have 22 channels in here. Okay. So you're also running dual band. You have channels 1 to 22. Your channels 1 to 14 are FRS frequencies that use lower wattage and output at a lower wattage. Your channels 15 to 22 are going to output at the highest rated wattage for the unit. And it's going to give you maximum distance. These units are rated for 16 miles. Now, before I get into the whole distance thing, let's take a look at this Motorola. Now, this Motorola is pretty cool. It's got a nice backlit display on it. It has privacy codes. Okay, I've got mine defaulted at 0 right now. But I can change that privacy code to whatever I want from channel 0 to 121. Now I'm on privacy code 9. Okay. Something interesting for you. I'm going to put this one on channel 8, because that's what that one's on, is channel 8, privacy code 9. So as you can see, this is on channel 8, and this is on channel 8 using privacy code 9. I'm going to transmit on this one first. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so I can't pick up that one with this radio. Hello, 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 hello. Nothing's happening. Let's hit the call button. I hear it on this end, but I'm not picking it up over here. Now, I'll use the call button on this one. Still on channel 8, privacy code 9. It picked it up. Hello, hello. Now, they can hear me on this one. I'm close enough that even though I'm on a secure channel, this radio on channel 0, because that's its default code, okay, which can't be altered, is able to pick this one up. And this is supposed to be secure. Okay? It will be secure if you're far enough away from other people. But if you're close enough to somebody else, it doesn't matter what security channels are being used, you're going to be picked up. Your conversation can be eavesdropped in on. Okay? And the same thing could probably happen the other way in higher codes, but this is on 0, so it won't transmit even being close like this. It won't transmit to that unit, but this one can certainly do it. Now, I generally leave my code at 0 when I'm scanning. Okay, and I'll just scan the entire band from 1 to 22. And then if I pick something up, that's cool. And when I do pick something up, it's going to show it to me on screen. It's going to show me the channel, and it's going to show me the privacy code. If they're using one, it'll show me that code as well that's being used. I found that out from scanning the other day. I picked somebody up, they were on, whatever channel, and it showed me the code that they were on. At the time they were on 0, and but they were close enough, and I have no idea, how a lot of this stuff is still working, but I'm learning more. Anyways, I said, okay, I'm gonna go to that channel, so I changed my radio to that channel, say, hey, how's it going, what's up, who's this? And and it's like, I couldn't barely make out what they were saying. But then they decided to try and change their privacy code, right? And so, of course, I scan again. Boom, same channel comes up. So they kept their channel the same, but then they changed their code, and it gave me the code number that they were on. And I thought, okay, so we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to change over to the code that they were on. Okay, boom, so we changed the code that they were on. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, man? What's up? And then they were still able to hear me. Okay, and then I guess they bugged off because they figured, hey, how do you hack that? It's not a hack, guys. If you're close enough, this is the sort of stuff that happens and where privacy goes bottoms down. Okay, so they're not 100% secure. They're only secure as long as there's enough distance that you can't pick each other up at all, okay? So let's try something else for an experiment and see what happens. I'm going to go to channel 10 here. Hello, hello, hello. Nope, nothing there. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so we know channel away from channel, even close up, we're safe. But if you're on the same channels, that's where you're going to see where some privacy goes. Now, range. These are good for 16 miles, this pair here in my hand. A lot of people are misunderstanding this whole range issue. The manufacturers are not lying. And when they say, hey, it's good for 25 clicks, it's good for 16 clicks, whatever. That has to do with obstacles, okay, that are in the way. If there's no obstacles, this set of pair of units, line of sight, is going to get 16 miles, okay? As soon as you put one object in between them, you just reduced it. Or you get a broken up transmission, or both. Put more obstacles in. Oh, that degrades things even more. Ah, darn. Oh, let's put another obstacle in. You get in the picture. It gets worse and worse, okay? So, the more obstacles that are in your way, the worse things get. And the more broken up the signal gets, etc. So it doesn't matter if these things are good for 100 miles. If you're out in the bush, you're not getting 100 miles. You might get 10 miles. You might get 5 miles if you're lucky. Okay? Because more obstacles are in your way, the more the signal gets broken up and flown all over the place, and it just can't do its job. Okay? Or it gets absorbed into things like fluorescent lighting, concrete, metal, and this all affects how well these things are going to operate for distance and stuff. Now, you pay more to get more too, right? So you're paying more to get more mileage, which is nice, but you're also getting more features. This radio unit, as a set, I only have a single unit left because the other one was porked, and I picked them up used, but whatever. At least I got one good one out of the two, so that was kind of nice. But this here, I press and hold on the plus button.
Current marine reports. Weather conditions at 8 p.m. North Bay, temperature -19, wind east-northeast.
So I've got 3 weather stations I can choose from. Change my call ringer. This was the other feature I was trying to figure out the other day. Okay, nothing, or a standard call ring. Okay, so I can change my call ring. I can set a privacy code, which may or may not do me any good, depending on who's around the area with an FRS that can listen in. I have a flashlight. Ooh, nice feature. Nice and bright too. Is it ever bright? Okay, so it's kind of nice. Cool belt clip versus cheap and junky. Uses 3 AA's or a rechargeable pack. The recharge packs were junk, so I have a charger I can't use, so hey, I'm selling my charger. But this one here uses only 3 AA's, okay? So you're getting different features. You're getting different wattage outputs too. Now these are, all 3 of these are GMRS, so you have FRS and GMRS in the same units. A straight FRS unit may have hardly any features at all, or may have a lot of the same features as this one here, which is a GMRS. So you got to do a lot of research before you buy these things, but don't always go for the biggest price tag means the biggest buck, because it can also mean the biggest pile of headaches too. The more junk you have stuffed into one of these things, the more that can go wrong. Okay, but at the same time, it depends on the brand you buy, how good a quality it is. It may be good. Now, if I'm looking at 2 sets of radios, for example, I'm looking at Motorola and I'm looking at Uniden. Even Uniden's best set of FRSs, if I have a choice between their bells to the whistles best set versus the Motorola's, I'm going to go with the Motorola's, and I'll tell you why. The Motorola company has been around for decades, okay? And they master stuff when they build it. They don't just build hack-jobbed, slap-together stuff. They really thoroughly do beautiful work. I've always loved their design factors and the way, just everything that they do about their stuff. They do an awesome job. So I really like Motorola. And so you're paying more money for Motorola than you would for a set of Unidens, okay? Or maybe you're looking at Cobras, or maybe you're looking at some other brand, okay? But then you can also go off brands and get some really cool stuff that may actually outperform this one as far as actual distance goes. You know, say this is for 40 kilometers, well, maybe there's an off brand that has the same features, more kilometers, and 10 bucks cheaper. Maybe try that unit. It's kind of hard to say, but I really like Motorola's a lot. But I also really like these Unidens. And I like a lot of the Uniden products as well because they're very affordable too. You know, when I bought these, I had no idea that I had no way of privacy coding my channels. And so when I found out I didn't, I was like, oh damn, better watch what I say on here. But these have some cool features to them too. You know, if you push and hold on the channel scan, it'll start scanning. And it scans very rapidly, much faster than the Motorola. Okay, volume, hold it down. Let go, and you can monitor all the static channels. So you can pick up stuff that's in the background that the squelch has blanked off. You can pick up those weaker frequencies and listen to them continuously, okay? Which is kind of a nice advantage that way. Hold the call button down, it locks all your buttons. You can't do squat, not even your call button works, okay? But your power button will work. It'll shut it off, and then when it turns it back on, the unit is still automatically locked, which is a nice feature, okay? If I want to unlock, I hold down call again, it unlocks. Press the call button once, that's my call. So it's going to call another unit. So they do have some good features in this thing. And being at 16 miles of range, I didn't need anything more than that at the time. And I probably still really don't, but I wanted something more powerful that had more range capability for incoming and outgoing, and a little bit more wattage too. So this is a nice step up. And there's another set that I'm looking at from Motorola that's about 3 steps up from this one, and it also has the repeater function for accessing or becoming a repeater. This one has a QT, and I don't even know what the heck the QT thing is, but there's features for that. But this thing still has weather, so I can get my weather reports no matter where I am, and it's great. I love it. You know, call button is pretty simple. You know, scan, you click the monitor button once to scan, click it again to stop, push and hold. Now as long as I'm holding on to the button, I can monitor that station. Okay? I can't change stations. As soon as I let go, it stops. Now that part I didn't like. Okay, that kind of sucks because I want to listen continually and change stations. I can do that with this, but I can't do it with that. Pluses and minuses both ways, right? So you got to really look at the features you're after and what you can live with, what you can't live with. Okay, so changing channels, I press menu once, and I can change my channel. You know, higher wattage is always from channel 15 to 22, or 15 and up. Lower wattage output is going to be from channels 1 to 14, because 1 to 14 is your FRS stations. And FRS station channels are weaker for output than GMRS. So that's something to keep in mind too. Do you buy FRS or GMRS? Well, I'm going to go GMRS always, because A, I get 22 channels, I get 2 wattage levels regardless, because I've got FRS side and the GMRS side. I'm getting more money output, I'm getting privacy code access here that will work providing people are not close enough to pick me up. If they are close enough, they're going to hear my conversation. That, I think, is a very big problem. So that really doesn't offer you as much privacy as you think you're actually getting. Okay, so that's something to be aware of. It's not bulletproof on the privacy thing. Distance, I know line of sight is line of sight, you know, and I've always known that. So you start putting obstacles in, you start to have to get closer to each other, or you're going to lose communication pretty quick, okay? Not to mention your signal is going to get rather distorted, so they won't be able to even understand what the heck you're talking about. You know, I like the flashlight. That's a nice little accessory in there. It works even with the power turned off, which is pretty cool. You know, it's just overall, you got to really shop around for these things, really check out the features, then decide, you know, check out reviews, check out videos, you know, see what's out there, see what people are saying, and then make your decision based on all that information, and then that's what you go out and buy, you know. So now with CB radios, I want to touch a little bit on CB radios too. I've been in CB radio since I was a little kid, and on and off as well. Some things I actually go on and off with on a lot of different hobbies, you know, just because sometimes you lose interest for a while or whatever. But anyway, CB radios is Citizen band. Now this is on an AM band generally, and you've got your main 23 channels or 3 channel or 40 channel CB radios, and they work pretty much a lot of the same way, is line of sight. Now a CB radio, they average 4 to 5 watt maximum power output, at least in Canada. That's what we're regulated to for wattage output of our units. And at a 4 watt unit or 5 watt unit, they're generally rated at about up to 5 miles. Now that's an up to. That's going to depend on weather conditions, going to depend on obstacles in your way, etc. They are no stranger to obstacles in the way. The advantage of a CB radio, though, that I like is when the northern lights are out, clear skies, you know, nice weather, they're going to get a lot more range than, you know, cloudier days, rainier days, etc. Okay? These are also affected by weather too. But I highly doubt you're going to talk to anybody in the States on Skipland with one of these. I have not had that experience as yet. But I have talked to Skipland on a 3-channel, 1 watt walkie-talkie. When I was a kid, had like this, you know, felt like it was 6 feet tall. I mean, for the aerial, I was a small kid back then. I was about, you know, 10 or 11 years old, 12 years old. And my parents bought me a 3-channel radio that only came with 1 channel, which was actually channel 14. So we bought the crystals for 19 and for channel 3. And I was able to talk to people in California, Texas, many other different places in the States and other far out places when the skip was out. And especially during Northern Lights, I could get back and forth, and I was really pushing their meters good, and you know, if I would have had a meter on my radio, it would have pushed pretty good on the pin on mine, because I was receiving them good and strong as well. But then of course the next day comes around and you're like, this is not happening again. Why? What happened? I thought this was a good radio. Did it blow up? Something wrong? No. It's because that night before we had the northern lights out, I could talk to them, you know. Or another time was, it was crystal clear outside, not a cloud anywhere, beautiful night, and I was able to talk on skip, and it doesn't always happen, but sometimes it did. Okay, so it was kind of a pig in a poke when it would ever happen, right? But generally CBs, even at 4 and 5 watt output, are still only good for up to 5 miles, 4 to 5 miles, you know, but that's based on line of sight. Obstacles come in, things get reduced, okay? So how do you work around this? Well, become a ham radio operator and you're going to get a heck of a lot more bang for your buck, and you're going to need a license, and things are totally different on ham frequencies than they are on CBs and FRSs. Okay, so I'm actually going to go for my ham radio license too, because I want to get into the ham stuff, and but I'm also sticking it out with FRSs and CBs, and it's all fun radio stuff, you know. But I just wanted to clarify some things with you guys, and the big thing was the range issue and how that actually works in reality. The manufacturers, when they post a rating, they're pretty much bang on. They're not lying to you. It is line of sight in order to get that full 16 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, 40 miles, whatever they've rated that equipment for. You know, your wattage levels are lower output on channels 1 to 14, higher output on 15 to 22, which also means that from channels 15 to 22, 16 miles comes into play. But on FRS, lower wattage, we might get a mile or 2 or 3 miles, maybe, okay? Line of sight, obstacles in the way, that's it, buddies. We got hardly any distance then on 1 to 14. So a lot of people will say, well, they're crappy radios, and so I'm going to go buy a better brand, or I'm going to pay more money. Pay as much as you like. You're not going to escape the issues. Okay, you're not going to escape the reality that line of sight is full length range, but the full length range is only going to be from channels 15 to 22, because it's your highest output power that it will transmit at. It transmits at lower power ratings on 14 and below on FRS channels, on straight FRS. So your line of sight is now not 16 miles. It might be 4 miles, it might be 7, might be 9 miles. But on GMRS frequencies, it's 16 miles line of sight, and of course always less with obstacles. So hopefully that clarifies things up for a lot of guys. And of course, like I said, it's going to be affected in a lot of ways too with CB radios too, in a lot of ways. Anyway, so if you have any comments, any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do the best I can to answer them. I'm still learning more stuff as I go too. But I have a lot of experience with this sort of thing too, and you know, I thought I'd share that with you guys, and hopefully, you know, get the record straight, especially on that whole distance thing, because so many people are ranting about, you know, the whole distance issue, and they're not getting their distance. Well, you can, but it's line of sight, you know, bottom line. You need that wide open, no restricted transmit area, and then you get full power. So, but now, one last thing. 16 miles, right, out of this. Say 25 miles out of this. If I'm 25 miles away, will this radio be able to pick up this radio? The possibility is there that this radio could possibly pick it up, because this can push more range. So on a line of sight, if I'm 25 miles away with this one from this one, and I'm on line of sight, there's a really good chance that this one can hear me without too much difficult, but Now, can this one hear this one? Likelihood is going to be pretty slim to none unless you have just the right weather conditions on a line of sight. You might be able to pull it off, but it's going to come through really super weak. It may not even come through at all, you know, because a couple of miles is still a couple of miles regardless. Okay, so hopefully that might answer another future question that might crop up. That would be the answer that I have at this time. That seems to be the most plausible one on that. Anyways, as usual, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and you know I like to be thorough with this stuff, so I'm sorry that the video was so long, but I hope you got a lot of information that was useful to you and helpful. See you in the next video.